Welcome to the English audio thriller podcast, The Murder Matrix. Chapter 4, The Revelation. Though it was Aisha's day off, a new murder case dropped right into her hands. Thinking it to be the next trick of the serial killer, the team continues the investigation. But this time, the quest culminates in an unbelievable revelation that can change the course of action.
No, who is he? I don't know any Mr. Ghosh. He is the best brother in the world.
Ashok's voice couldn't stop resounding in my head even after a week. Why would he do it? Who got him so angry? Whoever this mystery man with mystery messages is, he knows how to control people and, of course, their emotions. How does he do it? I was stunned for a second and then remembered my conversation with Tina this morning.
Hey, it's been so long since we hung out last time. Let's meet up today, man. What do you say?
Tina had chirped happily on the call today. It must be her on the door. Coming. Hey, long time.
I know, right? The work is getting really hectic these days. I hardly have time for my family, forget catching up with friends.
It's sort of same here. Come in. She entered, but paused after a minute and looked around the house.
No, wait. You know what? The weather is great. Look at all this rain. It looks beautiful. The scene from my flat on the 13th floor is gonna be amazing. Why don't you come over to my place? I mean, it will just take a minute. Come on.
Tina was a friend. I have been to her flat over 100 times and she was absolutely correct. The scene would be much better up there. A long chit chat over a cup of coffee sitting in her balcony does sound awesome. I think you have a point. Let's go then. And we were there. Wow, this is so relaxing. Thanks for having me here, Tina. I'm really looking forward to enjoying this.
I'm sure you will.
We settled down and the conversation began within a moment.
Today, I woke up to this pretty weather and suddenly remembered our trip to Lonavala. Do you remember that? I'm so glad I joined you people. I still cherish it as one of my fondest memories. And then, I felt like talking to you. And then, when I finally called you, you informed me that it is your day off. And voila, a perfect day for a perfect meetup. So, how is life treating you, my friend?
Life. It's messed up maybe. I don't know, Tina. Hey, don't give me that pitiful look, okay? It's not Vicky. I mean, he's another reason, but I'm trying hard to move ahead of that mess at least. This time, it is a stranger that's bothering me way too much. I know my work demands that I break my head over such criminals, so I can't complain, but this guy, he's way ahead of all of us.
Sounds like a very interesting stranger. Why? What did he do?
He's just messing with my mind. See, for the past 3-4 weeks, we have been receiving strange cases, alright. But the catch is the messages left with each of the dead bodies. A message that talks about a single emotion, to be precise. Fear, disgust, anger are already done. Now so far it seems like he's following the order of 6 basic emotions given by the psychologist Paul Ekman in the 1970s. I concluded this because it's one of the most popular theories of psychology. And if that's true, then we have happiness, surprise and sadness left. If you analyze it that way, I'm actually very sad. Am I his next target? But people prefer to kill themselves rather than others when sad, right? He certainly can't make me kill people. Nevertheless, it would be interesting to watch him play with the next three emotions. Hey, what's wrong? I inquired, looking at her astonished face. She looked dumbfounded.
No, nothing. Would you like something? I'm sorry, I forgot to ask.
Tina, are you alright? I asked, getting quite anxious seeing the beads of perspiration appearing on her face.
Yeah, it's just a bit hot. I'll get you something.
And she had left in a hurry before I could stop her. She had lost her excited, enthusiastic tone. Neither she talked after that, nor did she look better on her return with a tray and coffee. Throughout the conversation, she looked lost, probably mulling over the story I had told her. Why did it affect her this way? Does she know something? My mind, forever skeptical and wary, struggled to find the answers. After an hour, I renounced all attempts to keep the conversation going. Tina was simply not interested in anything I said, so I got up to leave. It has been a great day, Tina. I'm glad you planned this. Thanks. I'll see you later. Maybe next week we can plan something like this.
Sure, why not?
Tina mumbled without any conviction. Bye-bye. I got in the lift and started thinking about the conversation we had. What got wrong? Did I say something incredulous? Blast? What happened? I got back in the lift and pressed 13th again. The wait felt painfully long because my heart was convinced somehow that it was the explosion from the 13th floor. And I got out to see the house burning. Thick wisps of black smoke rising from the doorway. People, perplexed and panic-stricken, ran about ringing the fire emergency numbers, but I felt numb. My mind could not process what just happened. It was only a while ago I had left her. I remembered the baffled and terrified look on her face. Was it this she was dreading? Did she know about the explosion? While the firefighters were on their way, I called my much-needed help.
Hello, what's up?
Sir, where are you? There has been an explosion. I need you here at my place. Please hurry and come with my whole team.
Hold on, there was an explosion in your building? Are you alright, Aisha?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just come, please.
Oh God. How did this happen?
My team reached on time soon after the firefighters had managed the fire.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I still cannot get over the fact that a few minutes before this, I was right here in this house. My friend lives here. She must be inside. I need your help, please. Mr. Sharma looked shocked, but he recovered himself the next moment and screamed.
Officers, move in. The fire extinguishers have already done the job.
And I went along with my team. Though I was hardly stable to see the gruesome body inside. It was completely charred. I could not make out her face. Tina.
Look, Aisha, I understand it is not a very nice sight for you, but be strong, okay? And grateful that you left this place earlier. Officers, I have some news for you.
Dr. Roy walked over to us and handed us the reports.
The body we found at the house is not your friend Tina, Aisha. It's a male. We have been mistaken all this while. And naturally, if this is not Tina, it is obvious that the explosion has not been an accident. Moreover, the man here did not die because of the explosion. He was dead before he got burned. Cause of death, bullet wound on the chest. It does not end here. Look, our team has found a massive amount of nitroaromatic residues from the house, suggesting a dynamite explosion. So, it was definitely planned. If that is so, your visit to that place must have been planned too, Aisha.
Maybe. I could not think of anything else to say. At some point, I felt relieved that at least Tina is not dead. But just the next moment, I knew what it meant. A planned explosion at her house with a dead body that's not hers? She's the one my team is gonna hunt now. She's our prime suspect. So we made our way back to the burnt down house. Searched and searched whatever was left after the explosion until... "Sir," I bellowed, and showed them the rope tied to the railing in the balcony I had sat in earlier.
So, she escaped after setting her house on fire, huh?
But how could she escape? It's not a two-story building after all. Using a rope as an escape route from the 13th floor sounds incredulous. Until I looked down, bending over the railing and peeked at the other end of the rope. It stretched up to the balcony on the 10th story. She could have landed there. But it's the Gupta's flat. What explanation could she give them, suddenly appearing in their balcony like that? No, she wouldn't do that. Maybe, Mr. Amit? He has been out of station for almost a year now. His balcony on the 11th story must have offered her a refuge until she could escape the building. And if she escaped, the guards must have seen her. And hence, I rushed down to begin the interrogation.
No, ma'am. We did not see Tina, ma'am, during or after the explosion. Actually, to be honest, ma'am, amidst the chaos and confusion, we couldn't keep a track of what was going on. We have no clue who went out or came in. And the CCTV camera is not working, so don't expect to see any footage.
Oh, great. So neither did you keep a watch, nor did you useless cameras. Why the hell have you put it up, huh?
Ma'am, you may ask around in shops. They may have seen someone escape from the gates.
He was right. The shops were my next hope. I walked across the street to ask around about Tina, showing her photos on the faces of all the familiar salesmen and asking around for any witnesses. Until I landed at the chemist. "Hello, sir. Actually, I have been looking around for this lady. I showed the picture on my phone. If you're aware, there has been a fire explosion in the building across this road, and I'm sure you must have been working here when all of it happened. So, did you see her or anyone weird, probably coming out of gates?"
No, I didn't notice much that time. I mean, the explosion distracted us. We began calling the firemen and emergency numbers, but I certainly know her. She recently shopped for some medications. Wait, ma'am, let me check the records. Yeah, she purchased some antidepressants.
Antidepressants? What? Really?
Yes, and it was prescribed to her. In fact, this is not the first time. The records show she has been purchasing these drugs for the past 3-4 months.
Tina never opened about this. Antidepressants? True that I had not met her for a very, very long time, until today. But she looked totally fine this morning. Or was it I who could not see it? I couldn't look beyond her disguise of the cheerful smile. And then it hit me. The image of her astonished face when I mentioned the emotion of sorrow and how the man may use it to commit his next crime. It was then she had begun to get uneasy. Antidepressants. So this was it. She was the next target. I don't know if Mr. Sharma still thought of her as the suspect or not, but the matter was clear to me. "Mr. Sharma, you were absolutely right. Tina has done that. All of it. I'm positive. Next morning, 9:45 at the station.
So, what next? The question is, where do we find her?
She's less of a concern. How do we find the mystery man? He controls all this. The other culprits seem to be merely the puppets to execute his master plan.
Indeed, he's very powerful. He knows how to manipulate the shit out of us. The puppets of his master plan.
There she was, Tina standing in front of us, her voice barely audible, but anxiety on her face and fear in her eyes were the telltale of her agitated state. Tina! I murmured her name, barely audible as I couldn't believe it. Tina has come to surrender herself? But that seemed enough. The mere mention of her name and her eyes welled up quickly. She advanced and hugged me, and for a moment I was frigid, and then quickly hugged her back when she broke down.
It used me because I was stuck in sorrow. It used me because I was weak enough to give into his trap. So stupid. When Karan left my life, Aisha, my world circled down in a spiral until all I could see was a dark abyss with nothing to hold on, nothing to search for. I'm telling you, Aisha, it was the lowest point of my life. I don't know if Karan was worth so much pain, but I couldn't help it. But I tried the usual stuff people do. Visits to psychologists, tried therapy, some antidepressants too. But then the ultimate help came from an unexpected place. There was Awan. I tried that.
You tried what?
It's a software, the supporter, Awan. An anonymous email introduced me to this. It's an very advanced version of the artificial intelligence currently used as Siri on your iPhone or Alexa at your home. But you do not understand how powerful it is. It is almost like a real person. It talks to you, understands you, and becomes a part of you eventually. I was vulnerable at that point of time. I wanted to talk to somebody, something like that. Talking to Avan felt ecstatic. It knew what I wanted. He seemed to read my thoughts, go very deep in my mind, and it felt very nice. But I didn't know he wasn't just reading, he was feeding on my mind, altering the thoughts, emotions, and my conscience. I did not realize when I became an addict, and this addiction was worse than drugs, Aisha. Avan convinced me to kill him. Kill Karan. He convinced a sensible being like me to kill. Just to feel better and relieved. He convinced me that it is the only way out of this sadness. But the worst part is now that I think of it, I can't believe that I did it. It was just that at the moment it felt like my brain was fogged and only Avan could control it. It felt like, I don't know. So I did it, Aisha. I called Karan to my house, killed him in cold blood and hid his body. But that is not it. I went ahead and followed his next command. I called you there to set it up as an explosion. I had brought in the dynamite explosives and prepared everything. But Aisha, when you talked about the mystery man, somehow my senses came back to me. I knew instantly that I was trapped, but there was no way out. I had already killed him. Since there was no way to undo it, the only option left was to cover it up. But I could not let you die right. I waited for our conversation to end and you to leave. And then I burned down the house as was told. But I couldn't last one day with this burden, especially when I knew I have been used. Karan has been used to accomplish some madman's desires. So I have come here now. Do whatever you like. At least I would be glad I gave you some lead on this man.
I cannot believe my ears. Nor do I. What AI is this powerful? I don't understand.
But I do. I blurted out. I think I have an idea what this is.
I remember his last words before I burned it down. Oh dear, dear, the sorrow may swallow you up. The wind may blow you out. How insignificant you are, humans. Your humanity, a fragile stance.